Okay, first graders, we are going to write another expository text, or informational text is another name for that. Remember, we want to always do our 5-star sentences. So each sentence, we're going to make sure that we start with a capital, end with a period, that we put finger spaces between our words, that we use our best handwriting, and of course, that it makes sense. That's probably the very most important one, don't you think? So make sure that every time you put a period because you got to the end of the sentence, you stop, you don't go to a new sentence yet, go back and you read what you wrote and make sure that all the words you need are on the paper. Because I noticed that sometimes we think the words, we even say the words, but then we skip some of those little words. It's usually sight words we skip when we're writing it down. We usually have the most important words there, but those sight words that keep it all hooked together and keep it making sense sometimes go missing. So always read it back to yourself, okay? Okay, we're going to use the information that we gathered on our Foursquare and turn that into a paragraph. And we're just going to do the beginning of the paragraph today, and then we will finish it tomorrow. Okay, so let's look here to remind ourselves. Our topic is groundhogs, so we're going to use that in our first sentence. And again, I want to go where I have 2 pages available so that if I finish one page, I can go on to the next without having to flip it over. The idea behind that is that when it's done, you should be able to take a picture of both pages at the same time. Okay, so let's start right here. How do we start an informative text? I know, okay, we're talking about facts, so they're things we can learn, things we can know. I know okay, I know what? Some facts. Oh, would help if I remembered what I was writing. This is the problem with using a pen right now. But pen shows up a lot better than pencil on the camera. So some facts. Okay, I would have to really squish about to go there, so I'm going to go to a new line. About, and then we put our topic. What is our topic? Groundhogs. I know some facts about groundhogs. And we end with a period. Okay, now before I go on, I am going to go back and read it and make sure it says what I think it's supposed to say. I'm going to read it out loud. Okay, so when you go back and check your work, read it out loud because sometimes we have a better chance of catching our mistakes when we're using our voice instead of just reading it in our head. Okay, so read it out loud. Ready? I know some facts about groundhogs. Okay, so on your own paper, make sure that you have all of those words in place. We are all using the same opening, the same introduction. Okay, because we're all talking about the same topic. Okay, our second sentence is our first fact. So we start with first. What do I want to know or what do I want to share first about groundhogs? First, comma. So let's see. First, they eat a lot in the fall. First, groundhogs hibernate. First, groundhogs have babies in the spring. Or first, groundhogs eat plants. I'm going to choose to write that first they hibernate. Now I don't need to write groundhogs again. I'm talking about a group of animals called groundhogs. And so I'm going to use a pronoun that is for a group. I'm going to do they. They. Okay. The word they means groundhogs in this writing. Okay, so if I've already said the name of my topic, I don't have to repeat it over and over. I can just use they. First, they hibernate. And I can go back and check it from my notes from earlier. First, they hibernate. Our second fact we share by saying another fact is. So first they hibernate. Another fact is. Oh, remember, we want to go back and read it. And I did read it out loud a couple of times, but we should look at it together. Okay, first they hibernate. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Okay, so we can move on to the new sentence. Okay. Another fact is they, I'm going to choose to say they eat plants. They eat plants. You could choose one of your other facts that you wrote down. Remember, this is you sharing what you think is most important to share. You do not have to write exactly the same sentences I have, but you do have to use the information you've gathered. Okay, so don't come up with new things to write. Make sure you write about what it is we were learning. Okay. Another fact is they eat plants. Read the whole thing together. I know some facts about groundhogs. First, they hibernate. Another fact is they eat plants. Okay, so we have two facts, our introduction and two facts that we have written today, and we will finish this tomorrow. Have fun.